Howdy. So for our instructional strategy group, we got graphic organizers. So we'll be using a timeline graphic organizer to talk about the American Revolutionary War. And this is aimed for 8th grade students for social studies with high or higher advanced students. But in our planning sheets, we also made modifications for students who are possibly lower. So this is the American Revolutionary War. So for our objectives, our learning objective is I will write short summaries of events and battles of the American Revolution on a timeline using grade appropriate grammar skills. And then for our content objective, we have I will correctly label a timeline with the events leading to and some of the battles of the American Revolution. Students will summarize these events and battles correctly in 3 to 4 sentences.
So before we get into the video and timeline worksheet, we would like to provide them some background information about the war. So just stating some facts that before the 1760s, the colonies had a lot of freedom, even though they were under British rule. And then the British government tried to take more control, which ended up was due to the French and Indian War. So all of this is just kind of continuing why the American Revolutionary War happened. And then we get into some words like what does taxes, and so we figured that we would explain what are taxes, which we said that the government can collect money from its citizens to pay for things that people need. And then after that, we will go on to just talk about things like the Boston Massacre and as well as some of the acts that were created and the Boston Tea Party that will follow all of this that leads up to the first battle of the war. Next, we have some of the acts that were mentioned pre-war about what the British had done. So we have things like the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, the Townshend Act, and the Intolerable Act. So by explaining these to our students, we hope that it will give them a better background knowledge as they will do their assignment. So basically, after all the acts happen and after all the Boston Tea Party, there'll be another act that is involved, and then all of this just kind of explains what goes on. So explains what the Minutemen were and how the iconic quote from Paul Revere, "The British are coming," comes to be, and just it really explains the background of the start of the American War.
So to start the lesson, we will be playing a video over the American Revolutionary War that just highlights battles and really important events that happened during the Revolutionary War. And as teachers, we will be pausing the video throughout to highlight certain important events and just making sure that students are staying engaged and that they're comprehending different words, different acts, and different battles. And then following that video, students will be given Chromebooks, and if time allows, they will be able to watch that video again using their own timing, pausing it throughout so that they can fill out a timeline, which is what we are using for our graphic organizer. And there are 10 slots, so students will pick out the 10 most important battles or events that they think are necessary in the Revolutionary War, and they will need to write down the dates in chronological order, whether that be the month and year or just the year, and they will summarize that battle or event just to deepen their understanding and their comprehension of the entire American Revolutionary War. And these are some of our references for the American Revolution, where we found some information, and our video.
Did you end it?
I can't get it to stop.